the Seattle Seahawks at Denver. The Denver Broncos are a team that are on the edge. When I say they're on the edge, what I'm saying is this. They are real close to hitting the reset button, and they're real close to contending. They got a whole lot of money being paid out to a whole lot of people. They got rid of my man, Hakeem Talib, which is one of those decisions that you go, and then they got rid of a couple other guys. Alvin Wilson down there in Jacksonville, one of the guys with the Bears. This is going to be an interesting situation. Now, when you look at this game, the Seattle Supersonics, Pete Carroll, contrary to popular belief, is a solid football coach. The reason they look so good is because Pete Carroll, in the past, Pete Carroll scouted a lot of those guys that you saw in the Legion of Boom and all that. He was the dude who was trying to get them to come to SC, so he knew exactly what they were capable of, and he probably kept an eye on them. Now we're going to get to see if Pete Carroll can actually coach. They got one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, and Russell Wilson. We going to see, man, because it's going to be interesting. I'm really still torn between this, but because Denver has that stout defense, they got the offense, Denver got the defense. I don't really trust their line. I'm going with the Denver Broncos with this one because that's a team in flux, and we're going to see what's up. We're going to see if the bruh at Denver with the average quarterback can beat the homie in Seattle with the great quarterback. It's going to be interesting. Check that out. Again, another game. This is the pregame. This is the early game for the Toilet Bowl. The Arizona Cardinals versus Washington Redskins. The Washington team is in disarray. The coach Jay Gruden, I don't really know what the team think. He seems like a dickhead, but he got an NFL job. Arizona Cardinals, they're with a new coach. They get Johnson back. He playing for that bread. At some point, Sam Bradford would get hurt, which would promote Josh Rosen. He looks solid. If they run to win and throw to score, the Arizona Cardinals are deep. They have talent. They have Fitzgerald. I'm picking the Arizona Cardinals at home to beat the Redskins for no other reason. Who the hell plays in Washington? They always hurt. I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not impressed with Alex Smith. Check down Charlie. He doesn't throw. I don't understand how you can be a professional footballer and don't throw the deep ball well in a quote-unquote passing league. Remember, this is a quote-unquote, air quotes I'm doing, people. This is a passing league. So how do you get a guy who only throws the ball 4 to 6 yards up and down the field? I'm not really trusting that. I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals for the victory at home. The next game is a game that I am extremely interested in. At one point in my life, the Dallas Cowboys were the cat's pajamas or the cat's meow. They were the happening thing. They were the thing that they were America's team, and everybody loved the Dallas Cowboys. You got to love them, and you know all that rigmarole. Shout out to Miss Adams. But they were the team that everybody loved, or you loved to hate. It was either Pittsburgh Steelers or Dallas Cowboys. At this point, if you're from my community, I would hope that you hate the Dallas Cowboys if you don't live in Dallas and you still watching football. I don't like that jackass Jerry Jones. I'm really not a fan of him. He fired the homie Jimmy Johnson. He's been doing a whole lot of stupid stuff and supporting white supremacy. Yep, I said it. If you disagree, you don't have to listen. Or if you disagree, you can just inbox me or something. I don't care. But I just believe he supports white supremacy. I can't find myself ever rooting for that team again. His family's never going to sell that team, so I'll never be a fan of them. But that will not discourage me from looking at this objectively. Smith out of Notre Dame is a demon. Lee is always hurt, so he's going to be up and down. They have a solid defense. Their secondary is very shaky. When you have a shaky secondary against a quarterback that was once league MVP, and he is a rhythm quarterback, so if he gets on the roll, he can dissect you. And Cam Newton, that's not good news for them. They also don't have a lot of offensive weapons. Their primary weapon is a guy by the name of Ezekiel Elliott. Bell Carroll back, he's a force. The brother is a force. He has a full training camp ahead of him. It was in immaculate shape. He out there checking in with Eric Dickerson. He was low-key mad at the homie Eric. But it's cool. He'll get over it. Build a bridge, homie. Get over it. But when you look into the Dallas Cowboys, they have too many questions. Whereas the Carolina, they don't have solid coaching. They don't have great leadership. They have a second-year quarterback with the weight of the world on them. 2 of their best offensive line is hurt. The third best offensive lineman who's not hurt. He has an iffy back. There's too many question marks hanging around the Dallas Cowboys. Therefore, I won't be picking him this week. I will be picking Cameron Newton, even though he be saying some sucker stuff. Hey, it's about picking football. I don't want to have a baby Bam. I'm trying to get him to win the game. Cam Newton with Norv Turner and their new offense. They got one of the better wide receivers at the draft. Cam spreading the ball around to G-Reg Olsen. It's going to be an interesting game, which I think the Carolina Panthers and that stout defense with the shaky offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys and the very limited weapons, Cole Beasley and a bunch of guys that you never really heard of, that's who Dak going to be throwing it to. The good thing is Dak, I believe, is going to have a good game, but it's going to be at all for naught. They're going to lose. Carolina Panthers in the building. Holla, Jimmy. I'm going with the Panthers winning at home in their home opener. They will beat the Dallas Cowboys. Now, my next game on the docket is the home team, the Chicago Bears, versus the Green Bay Packers. This is what I want you to understand. The Green Bay Packers got a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. They are in a bit of a disarray. You got Jimmy Graham, which is going to be wonderful for the homie Aaron Rodgers. Best quarterback in the league. He still don't have a running game. Again, it's the ugly slogan rears his head. You run to win, you throw to score. Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to put up a lot. He may be able to put up a lot of points, but the Bears had the number 10 defense in the league last year. I know a lot of Chicagoans don't even know that the Chicago Bears had a number 10 defense in the NFL last year. They get the homie Khalil Mack, which will make a number 10 defense, potentially push them into the number 5 thing. Khalil Mack is excellent against the run. He's excellent against the pass. He was defensive player of the year. He consistently gets better and better and better and better. He's entering the prime years of his life. Any physician will tell you will not be stronger than when you are 27 years of age, and that's because that's physically you're at your best. He's entering at age 27. The Chicago Bears have a great scheme. They're going to fit the homie Khalil Mack into it. I'm picking this upset in Green Bay by the Chicago Bears. You have a guy who's been under the tutelage, the coach of the Bears under the tutelage of Andy Reid. Andy Reid's philosophy is don't ask a player to do what he cannot do. I think Mitchell Trubisky is going to do this. He's going to have a solid game. The key to this win is the Chicago Bears running the football. Howard is the key to this game. This is why I think the Bears are going to upset them. Look this up if you like. It's on Pro Football Focus. Jordan Howard runs the ball with 8 men in the box, which was most of the year last year, at a 3.8 clip. 3.8 yards per carry clip. Jordan Howard with 8 men in the box. Anything else, he's at 6.2 yards per carry. When you spread the ball out with an Andy Reid offense, and you have Jordan Howard running wild like a child in a walker, this will limit Mitchell Trubisky's issues. They don't have to try to win every game with every play. They got players on the outside. They got players on the inside. It's going to be an interesting get-on. People, Chicago Bears, picking them for the upset special. Chicago Bears over the Green Bay Packers. There's too much disarray with the Green Bay Packers. Bears win, Bears win, Bears win. Now, the next game is the New York Jets versus the Detroit Lions. They don't play a lot of defense in Detroit. They do have a new running back. They got a new running back. But the thing is, the New York Jets are a stout defensive team. When you have a new running back, and the Detroit Lions, and New York is in the midst of rebuilding. People, I know you have Amir Abdullah, you got LeGarrette Blount, you got Kerry Johnson, Theo Riddick, Zach Zener. They got a lot of people who can run the ball. When you got LeGarrette Blount up there putting it on you, see, they gonna use him in short yardage situations. But Amir Muhammad is the key, and Kerryon Johnson. People keep calling him Kenyon Johnson. His name is Kerryon Johnson. This is the dude you need to keep an eye on. He's the rookie out of Auburn. This dude is a load. That's why this is going to be an interesting game on the first game of Monday Night Football for the Detroit Lions. This is going to be a get down. You got You got the Detroit Lions versus the Jets. It's going to be interesting, man. People keep an eye on this game. It's going to be interesting. You got a coach who is part of the plan. People want to get this brother up out of there before he starts winning in New York, and then he becomes untouchable. Y'all got my man Reese up out of the Giants situation, but you're not going to get my man up out of here. He's a very good coach. With the Detroit Lions got a defensive-minded coach, and I've heard people question, why you get a defensive-minded coach and you've been throwing the ball around the field all this time? A dumbass. How is that working? Is it working for the Detroit Lions? No. So since it's not working, maybe you should go in another direction. So that's why they hired the defensive coordinator for the Patriots. You can go in all into that BS about, oh man, the Patriots don't do nothing but cheat. That's all they do is cheat. Look, the Patriots, if you ain't cheat, I'm old school. I'm from this style of thinking, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So if they got caught, they was trying. If I'm a Patriot fan, hey, I ain't mad that you're trying to cheat, because guess what? If you successful with that, then you win. If you're not, you lose. See how since they've been the cheating ass Patriots, they've been to 8 Super Bowls, winning 5. I'll take it. But with that being said, I am going to go with the New York Giants. The New York Jets, Jets, Jets. I don't like Matt Stafford, but if they can get that ball churning, it's a good chance they'll win. But Todd Bowles is a dude who is formulating a plan to win. I think with the new rookie quarterback, they're gonna keep it controlled. The Detroit Lions, if they don't shoot it out, if they try to shoot it out with him, Todd Bowles gonna shut that foolishness down. Again in the Silver Dome. It's on Ford Field. They are going to lose their opening. It's not a real shocker with the Detroit Lions. I'm going with the New York Jets and the rookie quarterback. The last game of the week. This game is such a joke. I can hear Woody Woodpecker. He's laughing at this right now. The Oakland Raiders. Now, the Oakland Raiders is a team that as a kid, I grew up being a fan. Don't get me wrong, man. I don't think John Gruden is a terrible coach. I think he's a terrible person. He's a good coach. John Gruden is watching all his film. You don't watch all that film and pour over all that film and do all that nonsense for no reason at all. Now, what he is doing, in my opinion, is attempting to emulate Bill Belichick. And what I mean by that is you pay your quarterback and you get a bunch of solid players around him. That way, you don't have to worry about overpaying and tripping like that. The problem with that is this. I don't like the quarterback. The quarterback is a bit overrated. He flinches when pressure's in his face, and then it's going to be a problem. Now, the backup is A.J. McCarron. We don't really know what the hell A.J. McCarron can do, because he's been watching for 3 years, and he got a popcorn arm. Now, you got Doug Martin and Beast Mode back there running the ball. Doug Martin is a 5'9" bowling ball with legs. Beast Mode is Beast Mode, but he's 32 years old, so you're not going to be able to overwork him. Now, you got Jalen Machar, Chris Warren, and DeAndre Washington. Now, Chris Warren ain't going to get a whole lot of work because he's a rookie out of Texas, but DeAndre Washington and Jalen Machar, they're going to get work because John Gruden likes to throw out of the backfield. Amari Cooper is expected to have a bounce back year. Dwayne Harris is a solid 8-year guy out of East Carolina. And Jordy Nelson is going to help carry the load. Now, with that being said, the Raiders don't have anybody playing defense. If you had one of the most piss-poor defenses in the history of the league, and you add an ancient guy by the name of Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, no disrespect to him, but he's been playing for 11 years. That don't get you done on defense. You got a whole bunch of young guys. Unless some miracle happens, the Raiders are going to be piss poor. They're going to stink all to be damned. I think they're going to win about 7 games, only because Derek Carr is a decent quarterback and John Gruden is a very good coach. But I don't think the Raiders are going to make any noise this year, and they damn sure not going to make noise against the Rams. They will start 0-1. The Rams are one of the most stout teams in the NFL. All the quarterback for the Rams has to do is not blow it. If he don't blow it, they will beat the hell out of the Raiders this weekend. I want you to understand what's going on in Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Rams have one of the best offensive minded coaches in the league.